What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Team Chat Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Jerrett Wilson, joined to my right by Rachel Mogan.
What's up?
And to my left, Zachary Parks.
What are we talking about today?
We'll get to that.
Zach never knows.
I'm jumping the gun.
He never knows. Let's do it.
We gotta cut the fat off these things.
Team Chat
I want 10-minute episodes from here on out.
Little sound bites. That's all we're going to give. That's all we're going to give. What'd you think of this game? It was great.
It was great.
It's like that Family Guy.
Another episode.
It's like the Family Guy, the weatherman.
Oh yeah, it's
Oh
raining.
yeah, it's gonna rain.
What's the weather like out there, Ollie? It's hot.
Cuts right back.
Thank you,
Ollie
Ollie.
with the weather.
And that's Ollie with the weather.
That could be us with the podcast.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
Be very succinct.
I think you know, quantity over quality is what people want.
Yes.
They want hundreds of episodes, all like minute and a half.
They can just
think.
take in and ingest
To
in
guess.
quick bites.
Yeah.
That's all they want.
I need 30 minutes all to just myself. It's just we're gonna
That's why we had to.
Yes.
That's why we had to
Split
give you the
this
moment
up.
of Mogan. We
Yeah.
just been like,
Me and
"Gosh,
Jerrett
just wants
go
to
like
talk."
take a nap.
We're like taking a breather.
Yeah.
I'll do my
relaxing.
spiel. I'll
Get a
wake one
cigarette.
of you up next shift.
Yep.
Wow, a 24-hour live podcast.
Oh, God.
24/7.
Oh
my
no.
God.
We should do that on the 1 year, and we should do like a 24-hour like streamathon thing. They do
I
that
could
for like those
probably
like
do that.
those. What's that one charity that does it?
Oh, what's it called?
Oh crap, Angel? No,
It's something. The like the logo is a game controller with angel
with
wings.
angel wings. Yes,
Wait, we
What's a
talked about
24-hour?
it.
we talked about it
Yeah,
like
it's like
last
a
year.
24-hour
Now forget about it.
fundraiser where people play video games live to raise money for the charity.
Oh, but it's only for one day.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
only,
yeah.
but
okay,
like you can
gotcha.
raise crap tons of money.
Yeah,
so
I did that. I
forget-
did that. A couple
What is
years
it
ago.
called?
I can't remember. Oh, I'm blanking on it.
Somebody
man.
tell us. But
We'll
we should
figure
do
it
it
out.
now. Tell
We
us.
should do
We're
that because
listening.
it's in like November, and that's when around the year of team chat is.
The year
So,
of Team Chat.
Right after the year of the dragon.
Yeah.
I think in the Chinese
Right.
calendar.
Year of Team
before,
Chat.
I think
before
we're
the
in
year
there
of the
somewhere.
monkey, before the year of the monkey,
after the
after
dragon.
year of the dragon, year of the team chat.
Yeah,
is
yeah,
What would be
that's
the
right.
typical traits allotted to year of Team Chat? What's our
A
horoscope?
parade.
drunkenness.
A drunkenness. A parade.
No, yeah,
Filled with lovable. It's like Macy's Day Parade, except
Yeah.
all
All
video
video
game
game
characters.
big old.
Is there a video game character in the Macy Days parade? Macy.
You
Day
didn't even
parade?
say it right.
Macy's.
Macy's
Day
Thanksgiving Day
bro.
Parade.
The Thanksgiving helps. Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
I
What
want
a
to say there
corporate
might have been a
just-
Mario one time and at least a Pikachu. I mean, I know
Oh, they do
Pikachu's not-
Pikachu almost every year.
Does he
Okay.
rain
Right?
thunder down?
but I
on
guess
time?
that's
No,
technically
it
he's not.
should.
Well, I
Wiggles.
guess he's a video game character.
Thunderbolt.
I'd be watching on my TV like, this is amazing.
This is the best.
Best they've done in years.
Most exciting
I
parade.
don't understand how people watch that parade. But ladies and gentlemen, in case you did not know, Team Chat Podcast is a podcast where we talk about video games and why we love them. We'll do so through top 3 lists, open discussion, debate, and reviews of new and classic games. Well, we haven't really done a classic game yet. We should get on that at some point.
I have so many classic games that I could force you guys to play.
We should
Morgan
all-
did Twilight
That's
Princess.
true. It was the-
It was
Yeah.
a new classic.
Okay, so we have done it.
It was
it's
a
New
remaster.
classic, right on.
Remastered.
We should each pick like our own classic game sometime to do.
Maybe
And then
that will help.
Like an episode, one episode, we just each do a review on a classic
Because
game.
we
That'd
can.
be cool.
We should say that we were going to do Bayonetta.
Yes,
Oh,
we
yeah,
were going to
we
do
are
Bayonetta.
bad.
That was our one that we were
Until
going
I
to do.
fumbled
Somebody-
on the 5-yard line.
until we were almost there in the red zone
And then in the 11th hour, Zach was
threw an
like, oh,
interception.
shit.
and ran the completely wrong way
Well, you can't get that game on the Xbox Store,
No.
even though you told me I could.
because it's backwards compatible,
It is backwards compatible.
but you don't have the disc, and I have the disc.
But I could go out and buy the disc.
You could.
Oh, wait, so we could have done it.
We could have done
Son
it.
of a bitch, Zach.
We're busy people.
We are busy people.
I don't want to drive in this Austin traffic to Best Buy, the worst place on earth.
Amazon, man. Amazon.
Yeah.
Shit comes right to your door.
I have weird feelings
They'll
about
drone it to you.
I asked Jared, I said, is your Overwatch game going to get droned to you? Just
That would be
fly-
very-
open
very
your window at night,
appropriate.
just silently come in, pet your dog, feed him.
Then I wake up and Overwatch just sitting on my
You're like,
nightstand.
Amazon is great.
Like, I like this, but
fantastic.
this is a little creepy.
It has little arms that unlatch your windows for you. Just
Tuck
lets
you in.
itself in. Provide the drone with your home address and password. It'll just let itself right in.
Your diet, it will make
It can
you a
even
sandwich.
install itself if you let it know where you've set up your
That's the future.
PlayStation.
That's
That
the
is the
future.
future.
So,
That'd be
but
nice.
you have Overwatch coming.
Yes, Overwatch is
I'm
coming.
gonna get it.
Mogan's
I'm gonna
gonna get it.
I'm
I'll
gonna
get it.
drive to get it.
I will get it. I'll
Old
order
school.
it. I'll get it online tonight.
Excellent.
Give me the
It's right before we're recording this.
condescending
The
thumbs up.
passive aggressive thumbs up.
just like,
do
We
it.
know you're not
Good
going to
job.
do it.
I'm just gonna do it.
If we all do it, that we could review it.
Yeah,
That's
Even
right.
though it's
do a
already
review.
getting rave reviews.
I
so
know.
obviously we're just
Everybody
gonna be like,
loves
I
it.
don't
it's a
think
good
anyone's
gig.
going to listen to Team
That'll
Chat
be
to
our
be like,
first-
should I buy it or not?
That'll be our first 10-minute episode. We'll be like, Overwatch, guys. It's great.
Yeah.
Done. But no, yes, I'm excited about this one, and hopefully, it's Memorial Day weekend. We're recording this before Memorial Day weekend, so hopefully, it should be a lot of time to play it. So I'm pretty excited.
We got to speed this along. I'm hungry.
Okay.
Just chop,
All right, let's
chop.
go.
Although before I was gonna do it, I did something like I've never done
What'd
in like
you
the
do?
longest time.
You didn't go into all the ways to contact us.
Shit.
Oh,
I
that
did.
wasn't even what you were thinking?
No, that
We should
wasn't
just
what I
give
was
our
thinking.
fucking phone numbers at this point.
Team Chat Podcast. Email us. Send us some
Here's our
questions,
phone number.
comments.
Text us.
teamchatpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter at Team Chat Podcast. You can also like our Facebook page, facebook.com/Team Chat Podcast. And please don't forget about our lonely little YouTube channel, youtube.com/Team Chat Podcast, where you can listen to the episodes there if you would want to for some reason.
We do have some fantastic new videos coming.
We do.
And Zach made a great one
I
for
did.
the Valiant
Ooh,
Hearts
you need to
debacle.
put that on the.
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
on
did
the
you
YouTube.
not?
I just put it on Facebook.
It's hilarious.
You should put it on the YouTube
Yeah,
too.
Yeah.
it's a snippet from last
Super funny.
week's episode. Yeah,
Yes,
it's funny.
super funny. But no, I did something that I haven't done in a really long time because I have not. Spoiler alert for you guys: I have not felt the greatest today. I'm rallying for this,
What do you mean, like you're sick?
kind of.
You didn't tell us that
you
when we
didn't
came
tell
into
me.
your house?
Here
I
we
have
go.
a conference next week, man.
The hell?
No, it's just like a little weird thing.
This
I've
table
just
is
haven't-
small.
That's why we have this cough filter, and I'm not looking around from it.
Near.
But just kind of felt
Germs.
blah today, and so I laid around and I'm pretty sure I played 75%, 80% of the new Ratchet and Clank game today.
Oh, what'd you think?
It's fun.
Nice.
be good.
Yeah,
It's a
it is
lot of
good.
fun.
Ratchet and Clank has always been good. I feel
Yeah.
like their first ones may have been a little bit more fun.
I mean, this is a remake of the very first one,
It is? I
So
thought it
in
was
theory,
new.
it would be
based off
great.
of the movie that just came out.
Yeah, I don't care.
But it's a lot of fun. But no, I haven't
a lot
done
of
that. Just
roundabout.
sat down, played a game, almost start to finish. I almost thought I was going to beat
Bummer.
it before we
I
started.
could have beat it.
sounds like a great day.
It was. It was a
what
lot.
I wish I
it was
did
a lot of
today.
fun. I haven't done that in a very long time. But anyway, we do have a couple of questions that people have sent in to us before we get to the actual topic of the show today, and that is one comes from our good friend Dylan, and he asks, "What is our most memorable?" In the line of memorable moments that we talked about last week, what is our most memorable rage quit moment? I've talked about mine a little bit before, so I'll let you guys go first.
I gotta think of mine.
I can go.
Zach's got
I'm
one.
not going to remember exactly what happened, but I can give you the
The gist.
important details. I was around probably 12 or 13. I used to have my, I think it was PlayStation 2. I used to have my PlayStation 2 up in my room. So I did a lot of gaming up there. And I had Madden 2003, I think it was. It was whatever the one that had Eddie
Is Madden the
Is that the comedian? Who's the Titans?
the sports one?
Yeah, who's the Titans quarterback
I have no idea.
from 2000, from the early 2000s?
I'm from Tennessee. I should know.
You should know.
I don't know
They
these
played against the
sports
Rams,
things.
and it was a really great
Oh, in
Super
St.
Bowl.
Louis? That was the only Super Bowl I can
Great
remember
Super
because
Bowl.
it was Tennessee got gypped.
They did.
Yeah.
Tennessee won that game.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that.
Everybody, we won. Come on.
But that game, I think it was just so full, at least to me, of unrealistic little glitches and things that didn't cooperate well with me. And I had a really bad rage quit. I don't remember. I'm sure it was something bullshit. I didn't get a touchdown or threw an interception or something. Probably something actually my fault.
Yeah.
And I punched a hole in my wall.
Oh, damn.
Whatever.
That's
Whatever.
extreme.
I've never punched anything.
That's such a classic dude response to being mad.
Oh, I was
Punch
a
wall.
little 12-year-old Zach.
Come on.
Yeah, I was
so mad.
as soon as it happened, I was put my hands on my head. I was like, what have I done? It's like my mom is going to
Did you get
forever.
grounded?
kill me. No, I put a piece of paper over it.
Oh my god.
it had tally marks, I was keeping score of some ambiguous child game that
Nicely
I
done.
made up.
Awesome.
They found out immediately. I had to patch it up myself with
Oh.
drywall.
Yeah,
Spackle.
spackle and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
funny.
yeah.
I do remember. I think I
Now you know.
elbowed it.
Now you know how to spackle a wall, though. So I mean,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
a learning experience.
I remember the technique. I think it was totally on accident.
yeah.
And I was not Yeah, I don't know. It was my
The wall was just there,
Madden
and your
sucks.
elbow was close to it.
Yeah, and that was a shitty
I've
Madden.
elbowed a couple of dents into walls, but I have small elbows, so
They pierced the wall right through it.
Just pierced
really
right through it.
sharp.
Mine I've talked about a little bit before. It's when I was playing God of War Ascension, and it's the very last.
The one you couldn't beat.
It is. It's like it was so ridiculously annoying, and I sat there for probably 2 hours just playing the same part over and over and over, and just not getting any farther than I had any of the previous times. And I finally was just like, I'm done with this hellish game.
Just turned it off.
Just turned it off.
Never played again.
Haven't touched it since.
Wow.
And that was probably had to be like 2 years ago.
Oh.
We were in this house, so it had to be.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's
That's how I remember time too.
Yeah.
Which house was I in?
Yeah. What roof?
So no,
Where was
so
I living?
It was like 2 years ago, but I played. One night I sat there and just like tried to grind
Did you yell
through.
or anything?
Oh, like every time I would die, I'd just be like, son of a bitch. This is terrible. This stupid
Rage
game.
quits, man.
I hate it. And yeah, so haven't picked it up since. Probably won't ever again.
Good.
Good.
Riddance.
I shouldn't go back to
Games
things that
shouldn't
cause me
hurt us.
such.
They should be our friends.
Exactly.
Too much pain.
Mogan.
Pain. I probably have a bunch from Dark Souls,
Did you
but I
lose
can't
too many
think of
Pikmin
them.
one time, Mogan?
Oh yes.
That's it.
we
'Cause
could
Mogan
we
is
could die.
super-
I play the no kill Pikmin.
You do. You play the no
Oh,
kill rule.
man.
and
You
Just do it
Pikmin.
to yourself.
Yeah. You
No,
lose a
it's
Pikmin.
for. It's not to me. It's for the Pikmin. They're your friends.
They have souls.
They will die for you. Their
Yes.
little souls float up into heaven when they get killed. You can't do it to them. But no, actually, probably the one that I thought of more recently is actually from New Super Mario Brothers 3D World. The one where
All right.
like you have the little cat suit for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not like the raccoon suit where he's got the little tail. It's like the actual cat suit. But there's this one particular level, really pretty late in the game. So it's meant to be one of the more challenging ones. And most of the levels, I breeze through them. I mean, aside from me being stupid and just falling off for being dumb, it's like, oh crap, that was my bad. Sorry, Peach, because I'm always Peach. There's this one level where you are basically on top of a moving block that is constantly rotating. So it's a block, and you have to basically run to the edge and jump at the correct time. Otherwise, the block will slide you off into lava because the entire level is lava, and you're just on this one block that's moving around. And of course, there's like enemies and fireballs and all this crap. I died so many times. Just so many times. My hands were so hot from how mad I was. I was like, it's not Peach's fault. It's not her fault. It's me. I'm sorry.
Wow. It's always self-deprecating.
Really sorry, Peach.
all
This
me.
is not
It's
your
always
bad.
Peach's fault.
And I was like,
Yeah.
no, it's me. And then eventually the game is like, you're having a lot of trouble with this level. Do you need
It
some
told-
help?
it
It
told you that?
tells you.
That's
And
so
really,
funny.
the threshold is too soon, I would argue, because if you die like 5
God
to
of War
10
does
Hey,
that.
idiot.
10 times.
Looks like you don't know
it
what
comes
you're
up
doing.
with this little block that beeps at you, and it has like a question mark on it. It's like, ba-ba, 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 and you're like, fuck you. I can do
get
it
it.
I
myself.
do it at the difficulty level that I set.
I will do this myself. I didn't beat it that day. Eventually, I couldn't like properly grip the Wii thing. I was like, forget it.
Controller's fault.
For fuck's sake, just forget it. So I had to go take a walk. I was like, I'm going outside.
In real life.
Video games have driven me to the outdoors.
It's not cool.
To think of it though, I did play this God of War game on the hard difficulty.
Oh,
because-
see, I would have set it back to easy.
but it doesn't give you the option to. This
you
Once you
can't go
pick-
back?
Yeah, like once you're in this
So
part or
once
something
you
like
pick,
that.
it's
Because
done?
I'd played all the other God of Wars, and and I was just like, oh, I can handle the hard difficulty. So maybe that's why. But still, I read in other places that even on normal difficulty and stuff like that, it's still this one part is ridiculously hard. So I don't know.
What was that?
That was
Yeah.
from SpongeBob.
Oh, pinky.
Piggy!
Was I drinking with my pinky up?
No, you weren't, and I
Oh.
was, and I was like, "Come on, Piggy!"
Pinky's out, everyone. When you drink this delicious
Yeah,
mango
our
LaCroix,
sponsor.
Mango LaCroix.
Yeah.
I love
New
LaCroix.
flavor.
I do too.
Someone told me it's LaCroix.
It's
could
not. No, that's
That doesn't make
incorrect.
sense.
It's LaCroix.
I'm just saying, maybe there's
don't
a
know.
reason LaCroix
Ooh,
has
let's-
not contacted us. 'cause
LaCroix
they could
needs
have
to
no idea
settle
what we're
it.
talking about.
We could fight LaCroix in Smash.
We could.
We could settle it in
Send us your
Smash
best
for-
LaCroix.
Send
Yeah.
us your best LaCroix pronunciation.
LaCroix. Send us your
Can't
best
be
Smash player.
LaCroix.
And then we have one more other question, real quick, before we get to the topic of. You can ask it.
Was it my question from Grant?
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
we'll do this one quick because I think we've kind of touched on this one again. We'll just do it as a quick
This
refresher.
is just to appease my good friend Grant, aka
What's up, Grant?
Devil Foo.
Oh, yeah, Devil
yeah.
Foo.
Devil Little Foo Foo. He wants to know what Smash Bros. Characters we usually are, which I know we've talked about before.
Yeah.
And who would win between us three.
My favorite's Captain Falcon. I just like him.
Falcon
And
Punch,
no, I do not. I no longer. I've grown from my childish ways and no longer use just Falcon Punch.
Falcon
I now
Kick.
have a majority of all the rest of his moves in my repertoire of Smash Brothers moves.
He's a dangerous character.
He is. I like him. He's just been my one ever since I started playing when I was a wee child.
am not I almost said ironically, but I'm Link.
Oh, that is kind of ironic.
Link's a good character too.
I've only played
If
Twilight
anyone,
Princess.
you'd think
I've
it'd be
always
me.
wanted
Yeah, that's there you go.
I've always wanted to be Link because obviously he has a sword, and so I'm all about that. But he's hard to use. Like,
Well, you got to know
have
how to
get
use
his-
the boomerang
right,
and the bow and
the
arrow.
bombs and all that.
and
stuff.
the grappling
we
hook.
have on 64, he doesn't have a bow and arrow.
No, maybe not.
He just has bombs. You can
I've
throw
only played it
bombs
on
and the
GameCube
boomerang.
and
Well, it's a new age, Jarrett.
Yeah, come on.
Well,
We're
you
in
know,
Brawl
I'm not in the
now.
new
He's got
age.
guns in the new one.
We're past brawl.
He's up to submachine guns.
Come on. I'll say this: he has a very good Super Smash.
Oh, he does.
He gets you, and he can get multiple people in the
Yeah.
Triforce, and
Yeah, he
he'll
can.
wail like
It's
800
nice.
hits, and then hit you like a baseball out of the screen like every time.
Hell yeah.
I thought that was is it very similar to Toon Links? Because
I
Toon
don't
Links
know.
is really similar to that in Brawl. I think.
Maybe would they not have the same one? I'm never Toon Link.
I don't know. See, when I'm Link,
You have
I'm
to
only
unlock
Toon
him,
Link.
right?
Huh?
I don't know.
No, he's like a default, right?
Is he?
I don't know. The point is, I'm Greninja.
Oh, that's what you're trying to say.
Anyways, so yeah,
What's
Greninja.
his Super Smash? I forget.
Oh, he like
he
stamps down on the ground to like sling you up, and then it's like this awesome moonlit background nighttime scene where he ninja kills the bejesus out of you.
I love
It's
it.
great.
Nice.
Yeah,
Very
it's
well.
awesome.
Very cool. Very cool.
But yeah.
So who would win between us?
Not me.
I think
I'm
just
not
me
good
because
enough.
I've played the most.
I-
I'm the only one that owns it, right?
Back up.
I have it on
I
64.
think I've played just as much as you have.
Have you really?
I played
Brawl?
a lot of Brawl and Melee.
See, I haven't
Okay.
played.
Those are the
I haven't
two
played
I've
the newer
played.
ones as much.
Wait,
I
what's
can
the-
hold
what's
my
the
own.
new
I can
one?
hold my own
Brawl.
in 60.
Never played that one.
Brawl is not the newest Super Smash Brothers.
Is it really?
No,
not?
it's not. I think
Wait,
it's
what's
Smash
the newest
Wii U
one?
or something.
Yeah,
Oh.
the
That
new one
could
for
be
Smash.
right.
Oh, okay,
Brawl
well-
is the one that came out on Wii.
Oh, never mind. Then it's Wii U, whichever one. is
Okay,
for
I've
the
not
Wii U.
played that one,
My
even though
bad.
I feel so
I've played
bad
it at
not playing.
Target.
At Target.
I love Target. What's
Our
up,
other
Target?
sponsor.
I'm scared to say things. After listening, I listened to the past episode on my flight to California, and I was so. It's so awful to listen to me call the College of Whiterun the College of Whiterun
right.
like
Oh
dozens
yeah,
of
and
times.
then
Does
you're,
it so
at
many
least you
times.
recovered because
At least I didn't.
We
I
we
fixed
haven't
it.
played that game, so we couldn't
Yeah.
correct you. So
But I
fortunately
was like,
for
this
you,
guy's an idiot.
We were forced to assume you were right.
But I was like, yeah, I'm sure there was backlash if a lot of people like listen.
I mean, a lot of it's, especially if it's
you,
like
you
something
call
from.
yourself. It's cool.
I mean, if it's
Eh,
something
they
from
can
your
go to hell.
childhood, like something older.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a pass every now and then.
Yeah, sure.
Gets a mulligan.
Yeah, we're
That
humans,
was pretty
right?
funny to re-listen.
No, it was a good episode last time.
Wait, what was it actually called?
Winterhold.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Not even close.
We're German now. Okay, so now let's move on to the actual topic. Fender's so scratchy.
Fender, do you want to be in this podcast?
He's so scratchy, so itchy. Get those scratches.
Maybe he's sick like you.
No,
Maybe he got you sick. Maybe you have dog flu.
maybe.
That's a real thing.
It is. I've heard of it.
Could be. Who knows? He likes to lick my face every once in a while. But the
Dogs.
topic of today's show is the social perception of gamers.
Just right out with it. That's,
I mean, why dilly-dally?
Yeah,
Why
I
delay?
mean,
that's-
how would
I
we
agree. Cut the
introduce
fat.
it?
I know.
Basically, so one of the reasons we've had this one on our list of topics to do a lot.
And we
For a while.
kind of did before, but we don't talk about it.
We'd recorded an episode a long time ago.
It was a long time.
It's not,
Never see the light of day.
it's not going to see the light of day. But because it just went on a very...
It was
secret
bad.
episode.
It
Secret
went off
episode.
the rails, and not in a good way. It just was weird. It was like it was our second episode.
It was.
Our attempt at recording our second episode, and we
barely even knew each other.
Yeah, it was.
yeah,
it
and we
was-
just tried to get into this really in-depth conversation, and it just was not good. But so we kind of touched on this in that episode. But the
So we
reason
know
for
we're-
bringing it back up is this last weekend. I was gallivanting around the hill country of Texas
On your steed.
with my wife Samantha for her birthday, and we were going around hiking and stuff like this in all these other natural parks. And we
Well,
go
that
and
doesn't have anything to do with video games.
but we went to stayed the night overnight in one of the small towns, and I was wearing a shirt that had the Watch Dogs, the game Watch Dogs symbol on it. And the lady who was working at the desk, she sees my shirt, which strangely enough, a lot of people ask me what this is. I mean, I get it. It's not Watch Dogs isn't a, if you're not in gaming, so you wouldn't necessarily know what it is. But people ask me about this shirt more than probably any other shirt I wear.
What's it look like? What's it?
It's like a white circle, and it's got like it's drawn in. It's like got a W with like a diamond at the bottom, so it kind of looks like a dog's face made out of like these
shapes.
Shapes of diamonds kind of thing.
It's interesting.
And so yeah, I've been asked about that more than any other shirt that I have. And so this lady, she sees it and she says, "What's that symbol on your shirt?" And I was like, "Oh, it's for a video game, Watch Dogs." She gives me the biggest eye roll.
Oh, she didn't think it was that cool.
And then she goes on to tell me about how apparently during her 5-year-old niece is like really into video games too, which she just was not really that big a fan of. That her 5-year-old needs to be so into that. That's
this one?
Yep,
Mogan just pulled it up on her iPhone.
It is an Android.
cool.
Thank you very much.
It is. Sorry.
Yeah.
That is a cool shirt.
So it's very
actually-
geometric.
yeah.
I would not associate this with a game.
right.
No, me neither.
But so anyway, I'm telling her this, and she's talking about her niece, and she's just not happy at all that her niece is into video games.
I mean,
her
can
dad
I get
apparently
her
like
niece's
works.
information?
I mean, she's like 5.
Oh, it counts.
Okay,
How old is this woman?
she
Who could be
middle
listening?
aged.
Who could or could not be listening?
She's definitely not listening.
Maybe she's a closet gamer.
Middle aged, but still. So that brings up a good point. Gaming is still a very still a growing industry. It has not reached its peak yet.
Yeah, it's like not niche. It's beyond that.
It's
but it just hasn't. No.
Yeah, but it's not widespread. It's getting there with esports and things like that. But how do we, like, from your own personal feelings about it, how do you think the world is looking at gamers as a whole? And, what would we like to see? How would we like to see it change? And part of that question is why this podcast exists. Because we wanted to, in talking about games and everything, we wanted to try to help bring a greater awareness to the art and the styling and, and really the work that goes into making these that, granted, I guess it's kind of almost preaching to the choir because the people who are going to listen to this are going to be people who like games, but still, I've had a couple of people who don't really who don't play games that much still say that this is enjoyable because they learn so much about it.
We need to
good
do
to
like
hear.
guerrilla takeovers of non-gaming podcasts.
yes.
Find
Get
a way
on.
to hack into the system. Get our
Bust
get
our
onto
say-
their
or
Or
waves.
just say we're
Yeah.
experts in whatever their topic is, and then
Ooh,
we get
let's
there.
target-
Slowly derail.
I
and
want
we
to
just
target
slowly
a,
start getting everything to go back to video games.
a book podcast.
A what?
A book podcast. Something about reading. I want to make sure those people don't read anymore.
We gotta find those people.
Want
There
to
we
play
go.
video games.
Yes.
Yeah. No
The
books.
Great War.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We used to talk about this.
Yeah.
When we first started the podcast, so I knew this would be a discussion, and I think we've touched on it in other episodes briefly, never in depth.
Yeah.
Of gaming community, what that is, online community. Me and Mogan had a great conversation one night about.
Did we?
Yeah, remember
What were we
about
talking about?
gaming, like being a female gamer, for example.
Right.
In the gaming world,
right.
and what that entails. It's different
Right.
for you.
It is.
Which I didn't have that much awareness of, to be honest.
Yeah. No.
There's a lot you could say about that, but that's a different kind
That's
of
a different thing?
conversation.
Okay.
Mine. The thought I had is just how people who aren't in gaming, how they look at it, and how us who are in it could, I guess, improve its image.
Honestly, the most flack I get from people, just in the regular world, like not from other gamers, from other non-gamers, is actually very similar to Jerrett's experience. I get the most either eye-rolling or confused look or kickback from older women, specifically.
Really?
Like, it's usually women who are at least 5 years older than me, and they're like, "Oh, what do you do for fun?" I almost never say, "Oh, I game." Because like if I'm looking at some usually an older woman, someone that's older than me, usually in a semi-professional setting, and they're like, "Oh, what are your hobbies?" I'm like, "Oh, fitness."
Whatever, you go first.
Yeah, no, it's like, well, what are your interests? I enjoy volunteer work and knitting. Those are my interests.
Seriously.
No, because like I will almost never come out with gaming as what I do for fun, which is arguably what I spend the most time doing for fun outside of work. I'll never bring it up unless I think the other person might actually be on the same page. So like if it's anyone that's beyond what I perceive to be my own social gaming circle, I will talk about anything else. And then because eventually when they're like, "Oh, what'd you do yesterday?" Like especially at work, I'll be like, "Oh, I was playing a new game, Dishonored," and they'll be like, "Oh." Like blatant scoffing. And I'm just like, you don't even know what it is. And it almost always happens just with other regular non-gaming women specifically. Like
That's
usually
so
if I bring
fascinating.
it up and it's like an older guy or something, they're like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, they
But
get
like
it.
older women and really just anyone really just barely beyond what I hesitate to call millennial age. I feel like it's a lot more common with women my age and younger, but the older generation not. Like they definitely have a negative perception of it.
Which could be because, they grew up in the time when it was still in its infancy, and I feel like it comes from a point of view just from more really just being misunderstood of what it is, because people, especially these people who are the older ones, and they see their kids growing up and they become more interested in it, and suddenly their kids don't want to read anymore. Their kids don't want to play outside.
Books are for chumps.
Reinforce that topic.
Yes, how do we fit that in every episode?
And so suddenly they're not reading. They're not going outside to play. They're now glued in front of a TV, which has long been viewed as a time waster, which
It's tough, man. It's tough because I don't mean to cut you off, but
No, that's fine.
I grew up.
Guess I'm done talking about.
I guess I'm done talking about Fusion Frenzy then.
This is just a revenge.
I just wanted to just enhance, highlight that I come from a world as a child that played a lot of games, and I was in front of the TV a lot. I was. But I also was outside a lot. I played a lot of sports, and I often think about my own children, if I ever have any, and they are like huge gamers. How would I react?
Oh,
I would love it. Are you kidding me?
You would be totally like, forget, don't worry about
It's
No.
like I would love it too.
sports or anything.
No.
Stay inside, children. This is where it's safe.
Sports and books are for chumps. Just stay inside and game.
Why play real football when you can play Madden?
Exactly. They have a game for that.
I have iffy feelings about that.
No, I do too, because my thing because same boat. I love to play games as much growing up, but again, I was not allowed to have free reign growing up as a kid on it. Like 30 minutes a day, I had to ask.
Oh, you had to ask?
Yeah, if
Oh
I could
my
play.
God.
And then even then, that wasn't guaranteed if I would get to play play it every single day.
Very different.
And I get it. At one point, I was very bitter about that, but not anymore. It's like I know my parents were just trying to raise me in the way they thought was right. Cool,
Right.
That's fine. I hold no ill will towards that.
Right.
But
I would.
Mogan's gonna run away with her Wii.
but
With my GameCube.
it is because that they thought that they were a waste of time, and I think it becomes. I think it more becomes. That's what it becomes, is that people see it as a waste of time, and so then they don't understand the benefit that people are getting out of it. To me, and I mean, I feel like I have a pretty good imagination. I feel like I'm a creative person and stuff like that. But still, I feel, to me, I would much rather. But I also know I'm a very visual person. That's why I do video for a living.
Film.
And
Yeah, me too. I do that.
Yep, we all
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah,
That's how
we
we all
all
met.
do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's everybody's job.
so for me, I love that way better. I like reading too. I have definitely dropped off in recent years, but still, I like getting my story, my fiction, and my adventure, as it were, from playing a game, from watching a movie, from watching a TV show, and stuff like that. Because to me, it's just like we've talked about. Video games are becoming very much so, and with some of the bigger games coming out recently, The Witcher, these very story-based games that are coming out.
Probably Uncharted 4.
Uncharted 4.
Yeah.
They're just as good as movies now.
Absolutely. And a lot of
People have started describing them as they're movies that you get to play.
I mean, I have seen some way terrible movies that never should have been made.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it's like I would much rather play a game than watch that god awful movie.
I have a good friend in Austin who's a very, very professional film editor. He's done films for Richard Linklater.
What's his name? Hook me up.
He's just.
Does he have a son?
He teaches at UT.
Approximately
He does.
25 to
you told
30
me that.
years of age.
But he claimed that if The Last of Us was a movie instead of a game, it would have won. It would like swept the Oscars. He thinks.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, and
nice.
he might be right. I played The Last of Us, but hearing you talk about it, it's up there with cinematic storytelling. And I mean, I think we already know that. But what's a more interesting thought that came up when you were talking is how do the line seems so blurry between a waste of time. If someone pursues an athletic endeavor or
Oh, I remember now how that second episode went off the rails. Now I'm remembering.
Are we like?
Oh,
are we
did
like?
it
Are we like
happen?
going
No,
down
no,
the
no,
rail?
no,
that
no,
same
we're not
path?
going off the rails. I'm just
gotta
remembering.
warn
I'm
us.
remembering now the conversation and
Yes,
stuff. I'm
yes.
like, oh, okay, we did touch on these things.
Right, but if someone else, if you pursue an
Right.
athletic endeavor or you pursue, I don't know, what would be?
It's more. It's just in that transitional time from being seen as a waste of time to a. Now the word just went away from me.
Productive?
I wholeheartedly believe that
Productive,
playing
rewarding
games,
skill. Because what you're talking about, athletes, they start from like when they're little kids and they'll play sports all year long. They'll play a sport around the clock. Then they go into high school and they get on their team, and then hopefully they go to college with a really good school and they're playing there, and then they go move on to the
Major
to
leagues?
the major leagues, to
Sports
the pros,
words?
going
and
pros.
Pros.
you don't call that,
And you don't call that a waste of time.
you call that termination. You call
Exactly.
that like bravery and honor. You know, there's a lot better words get thrown around for somebody that devotes their life to an athletic event like that, or anything else to that degree. It's really exciting.
Right.
But video games, if you devote all your time to video games, it's really seen as something as like a waste of time or.
Because I think it's
not
still always
beneficial
seen. It's
to your
still
health.
always seen as a hobby, not a job.
But I gotta tell you, I was just in LA and I visited Riot
I saw your
Studios.
picture. I was so jealous.
And if people could fully grasp, like outside the gaming community, like people like that don't play games and don't know much about the gaming community, if they could see the amount of, they must know too at this point, the amount of money that is being generated through
Video game industry is huge.
the video game industry.
in terms of how much money they pull.
Yeah,
in.
and
Are we
visiting,
invested in games? Do we have stocks in games?
We should.
We
should.
need to
Team
do
chat
that.
needs to
set
Yeah.
that up.
yeah.
We'll get our account on the line.
Portfolios.
And to see it
Diversify.
visualized in Riot Studios was unbelievable. It was, I mean, a huge campus, unbelievable gaming rooms, free food, and like unbelievable, like this bar, and like it was crazy. I mean, it was unbelievable. It's like on the campus of Facebook or something, you know.
Do they need an assistant?
And they're always looking.
You're contractually locked into this podcast.
Yeah.
You
Damn
can't
it.
go
Why
run
don't you
off.
go to the moment with Mogan? That was it.
I'll commute. It'll be fine.
But I wonder if people had a better understanding of that, which I think is actually growing. I from my perspective, awareness of what the games are and how they can actually be beneficial is ever increasing. At least from what it used to be. At least that's what I see.
I feel like, as it does become more of an economic powerhouse, economic weight tends to give an industry legitimacy.
It does, and
Yes.
and maybe that's sad, or maybe that's just the way of the world. But if your parents knew when we were younger how much
I mean, think
of
about
a future
it.
was in video games, maybe they'd be
Yeah.
like, yes, keep playing video games. Maybe you can work for a great
Go
company
into
like Riot
design,
one day.
go
you
into
know?
2D art and
exactly.
3D
They'll be
art.
like, this is
And I mean,
great.
when I was doing that and playing a whole bunch of video games, I was probably like, I was 10, 12.
Sure.
I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I had no idea I was going to go into video. At that time, that's probably when I was still wanting to be like a history professor. So, it's just like, I had no idea that's where I was going to go. So no, to their credit, they're like, "Oh, Jerrett, you're talking about wanting to be a historian, like
to be history.
to be history."
That's why you're
So
playing
why-
Civilization, though.
What the hell?
I know, right?
What's the problem?
but so like you need to be focusing on learning those things instead of playing these video games. So it's like I get it, but still no. I think it's just more of getting more information about what it is, what it can offer, what it can provide.
Everything in moderation, though.
Everything in moderation.
I do believe in that to a degree. With video games, for me, it's always a great time to like wind down. It's a very,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say
Right.
relaxing because I do get really
Dishonored
into it.
is
But it's
not
like
relaxing.
But it's like I also think it's in the same way of mental like game like chess. I've often compared Halo to chess, and I think it is in a lot of ways.
You've got to keep your mind sharp to
It
play
kind of
it.
helps.
You can't just
I
like
don't
Yeah.
think it like I'm
No,
honestly.
it makes you a more strategic thinker, and a
does,
lot of
and
games are
my
very
reflexes-
strategic.
Right. I know. I really don't think. I really think it helps in a lot of ways there.
Yeah.
I think there's science art. I'm sure I've skimmed
There are-
science articles about that.
I mean,
I have
playing
too.
enough Pikmin 2, I feel like I could command battles.
Yes.
Like, I know what I'm doing.
just go to the
I could
Pentagon.
just
That's the one step up.
Sign me up for the military.
Yeah.
I got this.
You don't lose men.
No, exactly.
Apparently.
No, I will
Apparently.
preserve
That's-
every last one of
Look
them.
at my
God
resume,
damn it.
sir.
Look at my flawless Pikmin run.
yeah.
I think that's just it's starting to change. I honestly believe that.
I do too.
I mean, especially in other countries. I mean, outside of America, you look at South Korea and like the unbelievable explosion
like-
with League of Legends.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
it's, you're a
StarCraft
celebrity,
champions.
They're millionaires.
StarCraft. I mean, StarCraft is at the point where competition is so fierce that a lot of competitive gamers who make crap tons of money,
Yeah.
if they're really good, are finding that they can actually make more money by cheating and throwing matches. Like, it's to the point. Once
That's
you
when
get
you
to the
know.
point where you're productive enough that you can sneak around and lose on purpose to make more money.
Yeah.
made
That is a sport. They do that kind of crap all
You're
the time.
finally a sport.
They do that kind of crap in football, in boxing. Everybody's
For sure.
yeah.
Well, it's just like I remember hearing a story because now ESPN is starting to do a lot more coverage of esports, which is awesome, and I
They've
think
got
that's
a whole show
I
coming
think
out
that's
about
great.
it.
But I remember hearing, and I'm going to Google this right now. I meant to do this before we recorded, but I'm going to Google this right now just so I don't say something wrong. But when that was first being announced that they were going to be covering more of their,
What are they going to be showing?
I mean, I'm sure it's just going to be like tournaments. I mean, probably
like,
like
you know,
League
what
of
games?
Legends,
Yeah.
StarCraft kind of stuff. I'm sure like Call of Duty.
Halo.
I was watching like Call of Duty's World European like championship stuff on Twitch the other day. Shit's good. Like they got like announcers and which,
I'll say that this is a little bit off topic. I've watched a couple things for Halo, those live tournaments, and they do, in my opinion, try to emulate other sports with the way
Okay.
that they
with the announcing.
Are formatted.
formatting, the way they announce. Like you guys, I don't know if I'm wrong or right, but I think there's another way to approach talking about a game while it's happening. It's very much like a basketball game or something. I'm like, this doesn't. It just
Yeah.
doesn't sound right. They need to. They're not going to find their own way for maybe a couple more years. But to me, it's always been off-putting to really listen to these guys. It's funny to me.
It's almost too much of
It's
like
almost-
a sport.
Yeah, and I'm like, listen, don't pretend something that you're not.
Yeah.
You know, I get that you guys. I fully believe that video games can be a sport, but it's not.
I mean, are they taking time to comment on the beautiful scenery?
They're just they almost
Admire
feel like
the artistic integrity of the
80%
games?
of the things just sounds like filler. That like you know.
yeah,
try-
they just have to talk to keep
Yeah, and it's like,
talking.
listen,
yeah,
it's-
well, I mean, but that's also how sports announcing is.
But I just don't know. Maybe because I already know what's going on, that I just don't want to hear it. Maybe it does help people like my parents if they were so inclined to watch one of
If
these,
they were
which they
so
are
inclined.
certainly
For whenever
not.
you're up there playing,
Exactly.
taking your spot.
Yeah.
back on the Halo
Leaderboards,
They need
yeah.
to know
leaderboards.
why I picked up the shotgun.
Exactly.
Why did he pick up the shotgun?
What's he
Well,
gonna do with
it's
this shotgun?
Right. Well, it's a 5 shots in there, and that's you get close enough to somebody. That's 1 kill. It's like maybe it's me. Like no shit. It's no shit.
We should just start announcing. announcing
we
it.
should.
Okay, so I found what it was.
It would just be me every like couple minutes. Like that's fucking crazy. Like every so often.
See, I feel like
shit.
that's exactly the kind of commentary
That's what
I
they
would
need.
want.
Oh damn.
Oh, balls, he's screwed.
Let's watch.
guy.
Let's watch him.
This guy, he thought he was going to do that, but no, I can
Man,
just tell
he's
you
out
right
of
now,
grenades. He's really in the hole.
that bro's fucked right now. He's not going anywhere. But so this is the other part of this that I kind of wanted to touch on, and it's in the whole esports thing. And it's the other thing that sticks into my head of just people not appreciating what games and esports and all that is becoming. So Colin Cowherd.
The guy from
ESPN. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I've only listened to one rant he had on UVA football, which is hilarious because I'm from Charlottesville. But
So
continue.
it was announced that there's going to be a show on TBS that is a Counter-Strike League in 2016. And I've seen commercials for it and all this stuff.
I
and
knew
this dude
Counter-Strike.
does
Oh yeah,
not.
Shaq is in a commercial.
This dude's not
Yeah.
about it.
Oh my God, really?
So Colin Cowherd, apparently, I thought he still worked for ESPN, but apparently he doesn't. That shows how much I will watch ESPN. But he, before this, According to this article, it says, quote, Cowherd eviscerated ESPN, his former employer, for broadcasting a Heroes of the Storm tournament on ESPN2, promising to quit if he ever had to cover esports, and compared watching video games to, quote, putting a gun in my mouth.
Well, that's
See,
just
I feel like
insensitive
that's
thing to say.
Yeah, for starters.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it's not the kind of thing you joke about.
And then it goes on to say on The Herd, which is one of his shows, or like his something like that. I don't give a shit about this guy. Cowherd played a video of an incredible moment from EVO 2015 earlier this year, where a professional Guilty Gear XRD player celebrated one round too early and ended up losing a match in a heartbreaking fashion. Following the clip, Cowherd did a fake play-by-play for an esports event to shame professional gamers. There goes Spence, quote, this is what he said. There goes Spencer. He's leaving the event and walking across the street to his mom's house where he still lives at 29. He goes over to the refrigerator, opens it up. He's got a Hot Pocket. Oh yeah, microwave next. Look at the cheese. Big night for Spencer. Now he's going upstairs to his room, a room a girl has never entered. He sits down. Look at that Star Wars collection. Okay, now fuck. and all that, and then he just goes on.
See, but I feel like that hits
those are
on a
unoriginal
lot of
jokes.
the
Come on.
yeah, it's
You can be a
super
little bit more
unoriginal.
less cliche
He didn't
than
even
that.
think
seriously.
about it.
Jesus.
Everybody knows it's Totino's pizza rolls
Yeah,
now.
come
Come
on.
on.
Haven't you seen the commercials?
But like that's clearly what a lot of people have on this social perception of gaming. So even though it's becoming more mainstream, a lot of people still think that way. That's certainly not gone out of style. Really, a fair amount of people who don't game think about gaming in that exact light.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And then they find out, oh, that guy who has a giant Star Wars collection, Jerrett, is also married and has a successful career.
Right.
And then they're like, oh, they have that change of heart moment. The music plays. No, they don't. See, that's the thing.
Yeah,
they don't.
might not. Now we maybe just have to wait for all those people to die. You know, that
Exactly.
might be the only
Honestly,
option.
I spend so much
One more
time-
generation, guys,
I
and we're
spend
there.
You're not
so
gonna
much
change
time
their
thinking
minds.
they're on their way out.
Because it's such a it's like, I'll say this about it. It is a difficult world to enter if you have not either grown up with it or
Yeah.
experienced it really in any capacity before you hit like 20.
Right, because when they say people in our parents' generation, stuff like that, when they would have been able to play the games, they would have had early arcade stuff. But even then, that might have been at the tipping point when they're entering into like their careers and marriage, things like that, adult life, as it were.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's very much considered just like it's cool if you like. I remember one of my old jobs that I used to have. I was talking with my manager, and he just brought up. He was like, "Hey." And he's in his 40s. He's in his like late 40s.
Looks great for his age.
He does actually.
Yeah. See, there you go.
Anyway, so he like calls me into his office one day, and we're just like kind of shooting the shit. And he's just like, "Hey, so I got to get my brother a game. What should I get him?" And then I was just like, "Oh, I don't know." He's just like, "Cause I've played like Warcraft and all this stuff, and then he just like telling me he's like this huge gamer, plays Borderlands and all this stuff. I had no
Right
idea,
on,
but he's
right
a
on.
successful businessman.
Exactly. It
There's
sneaks
so many
up on you, man.
unbelievably successful
be
people
like-
that I know.
I'm gonna be like you.
Yes.
gonna be like you
Here's the
someday.
thing. A lot of people are going to be like that. More and more so each generation.
I'm going to have
coming
my
along.
curio cabinet of amiibo
You
someday.
are. And you're going to be like CEO.
Crazy Nintendo grandma.
Right. I'll say this, like the comment that Colin Cowface said, like that doesn't make
We will not stoop to his level, Zach.
What? Oh, that's not his name. Sorry. That doesn't like make me bitter or anything.
No,
He's
it's frustrating.
Yeah, but he's just terrifically misinformed,
Right.
and so are a lot of people. And like stuff like this, I just don't. I don't even know if it's worth it to like try to turn some tide. It's like I already feel. Not that there's like I would ever want some sort of like momentous revolution, like games are now cool,
Yeah, no.
it's not like that's what I'm necessarily looking for. I think that's just naturally that's what's happening.
It's going to happen.
It's just what happens. I mean, Conan with his Clueless Gamer, that's like a huge that's fun. I love that stuff.
Oh, it's hilarious.
That's hilarious.
I just watched this one of him playing Overwatch with
Me
Peter
too.
Dinklage and
I
Lena
watched,
Headey.
dude, Peter Dinklage is so cool, by the way. He was like
that dude's
so
awesome.
funny and like, oh my gosh, he was so
Slaying
funny.
people.
Yeah.
He's the best.
I feel like it's a natural thing and it's already happened, and it's difficult for me to get bitter about it. But I know what you mean. Talking to people in person to person, talking. It's something that I don't bring up that often either. I'm like, am I ashamed? Like, should I not talk about it? And
Yeah, that's how I am. I'm like, I have this podcast. We do this podcast,
Right.
and still people ask me what I like to do. I like to watch movies. And
I'm a fan of film noir.
sometimes I like to I like to go out and
Like,
play.
don't
and
you have like a video
do
game
stuff with my
podcast?
friends
No.
and stuff like that? Aren't you a host of that really successful podcast? No, I've never heard of
That's
it.
a different Jared,
got me
different
confused.
On the
guy.
other side, those guys are dorks. No, they're losers. He's totally
Idiots.
dorks.
But
So
no,
yeah,
I feel the
that
same way,
still
'cause
is
I-
in the air.
'cause
That
it's
is in the air.
I don't want to have that and again have another person that I talk to and there's like, oh,
So the
okay, well, I guess we're done talking about that. It's just like
Right.
in those conversations.
Well, you go ahead, Mogan.
no, my thing's a different tangent.
Well, I was just going to say two things to that, or I'll just say one thing is there are other aspects of hobby. There are other hobbies and interests that I don't tell people I have just because I know that they're probably not interested.
Yeah.
There's also social politeness.
I don't bring up my love of metal very often because literally nobody cares, and I'm like, I know they don't care.
like the
the
mental.
music.
She loves a good piece of steel.
See,
My-
this is
my
why I
head-
don't bring it
my
up.
mind jumped to like the physical.
It's like, oh yeah, I'm
I
a
knew she
metal
meant
worker.
music.
You like metal music?
Yeah, I love metal.
You're gonna love Spencer when he
Where-
gets co-host with us one day. But there are just it is one of those things that is maybe belongs in the category under films and books and stuff that people there's just not enough people that I think are interested in it.
Yeah.
Even though that
And it's becoming becoming a big deal. I mean, look again at how popular Twitch streaming is becoming.
I tweeted. I Twitch streamed last night for my first time. By the way.
What
You
the hell?
tell
Didn't
us?
send us a link
Oh
or
my
anything.
God.
What do you want me to, I gotta tell you guys that?
Yes!
Would you guys watch?
I would watch.
Yeah.
Spam
okay.
you.
Spam me.
I would
Okay.
watch and provide.
I didn't know how to do it. I was
feedback.
like,
I would have been like, that was an excellent play, Zach.
really?
I would have been
All
like,
right.
God,
I could use
Zach
some cheerleaders.
blows. Boo.
That's what she did to me when I played this Battlefront one on Star Wars.
That's nice.
It was
Okay.
terrible.
All right, it's term E, term Z. I think
Just send us a link, yo.
term E terms.
Okay.
That's
All one word.
not helpful.
Term Y, term Z.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like termy
Oh,
terms.
okay.
Okay. All right.
So just
On
FYI.
Twitter.
On Twitch.
On Twitch.
Y
I'll start
x-axis.
broadcasting.
Mine's just Jerrett Wilson, my name. I don't have a cool gamer name because
No,
I
you
can't
need
think
it.
of any good ones.
Come on.
I haven't done any games,
Dogtown
but I have an
Warrior.
account. It's
The
Does
warrior.
that actually sound cool to people? I think it sounds dumb as
the
hell.
warrior of Dogtown.
Because
You
you
can change
you want to
it.
know like how? No, I can't on Xbox. I can't on PlayStation. And I might as well stay
Point
consistent.
for Xbox.
We talked about that already. But no, like
the
this,
tally marks.
I think it's a stupid ass name because I got my
I'll say
my
this.
PlayStation. I was trying to set it up and I couldn't think of a name. And I just so happened to be watching the movie Lords of Dogtown. I don't even skate. I'm not a skateboarder. And I was just like, oh, Dogtown Warrior. Let's call it. I guess.
Yes, I'll say that it's okay.
It's terrible.
It's not terrible. It's okay.
Okay. So
Terminator Z is not great, but I've had it forever.
Wait, so I
people
had
know who
this
I
thought
am.
the other day.
What's
Is
your-
the Z for Zach?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it hit me the
Of
other
course.
day. I was just playing, I was playing Dishonored, and like I had the thought out of
just
nowhere, and
this
I was
epiphany?
like, wait a second. Is the Z in Terminator
Right.
C
That's
for
right.
Zach?
Most people don't
It
get that.
flew right over my head.
That was when I
until
made it for,
just
like,
the other day.
Virtua
That's
Tennis
hilarious.
in
Oh, man.
2000 or some shit.
I
Such
thought
an
it was
early game.
like, I just thought you might like the letter C.
Z is cooler than the other ones. The other options.
I mean, I'm just terrible at picking names.
We'll
like
figure
that.
out a new name for
It took us how long to come up with the name for Team Chat Podcast? I mean, come on now.
Well, we had so many other
we did
names.
have so many other names.
It's like the last one.
But
Okay, back to the conversation.
yeah,
You had something to say.
So I did have in terms of not bringing it up with lay people, regular other average Joes, where you're like, there's no way these derps game.
yeah, it's ding dongs.
By the complete opposite side of the coin, I do think that it would still be really hard for someone that isn't into games, especially female gamers that might be interested in it. There is a much bigger barrier as far as gatekeeping goes. You hit a lot of flack, typically from male gamers who are like, oh, you can't play Counter-Strike. Oh, you can't play Smash. Oh, you can't do this and that and this. And it's just like they blatantly scoff in your face.
right.
And it's just like, dude,
that's-
just let me play.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of social gatekeeping from within the gamer community.
Now that's
that just they try to shut you down.
that now touching on that cornerstone.
So
of,
it goes a little bit back to what we
yeah,
talked about.
gaming.
And it's just
well,
like,
and we don't have to get into like all that, but just gaming community.
Topic for another day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the gaming community, I will say, is something, and I might be the only one here.
It's part of it.
But
It
it's-
lends to this.
I identify with almost 0% of it. There's
Yeah.
very little that I
The
identify.
hate
I mean-
and just like the
Not the hate, anything, even the good stuff. I am a gamer only insofar that I play games. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And I want to play them
somewhat.
well.
Explain it more.
I don't care about like there's really I don't care about hidden secrets. Like I'll find that stuff on my
I
own.
see.
I don't care about
You're not gonna
what
try
game
to,
is
like-
better than this. What I mean, to a degree, like I'm very much at like the 1% of like, oh, what did IGN give it? Oh, that's interesting. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna get, even though I love getting into depth with my friends about it and with like my
the average
You're not like
person-
going to go debate strangers
I'm
about
not
it.
going to debate strangers about it, and I'm not going to declare one console better, even though that's what's the point of an episode. But that was, but
that was more out of fun.
How many times did I say like they're both great consoles?
Yeah.
Yeah,
fucking are.
they are.
You
At
know,
the end of the day,
all
it
the-
doesn't come down.
right.
It's like one is not outlandishly better than the other.
No, and I think gaming or gamers, a lot of them identify, which is fine. And actually, it's great. Like the community of gaming can be a wonderful thing, but what I've seen it's very much like the internet community or like the YouTube
It
comment
can be
community.
Yeah.
hostile
it's
and
really
just
full
full of trolls.
Yeah,
and it's just like,
eh,
okay,
it's like there's
this
no
could
wonder
have
that we
been
get
really
slack.
fun,
That
but
one
you're
stupid
kind of
person
ruining
who's like
it.
playing music in the background while they got their mic on. Come on, man.
Right.
No one wants to do
No,
that.
yeah, they're the worst.
But no, so that's not like I'm the same way. And so no, that very much lends to this perceived immaturity of the gaming community.
Yeah,
which
it
is a
definitely
now
does.
that's
that
maybe
is
the
a
better- that's
that is
maybe
a
the better
problem.
way to say it.
I mean that's a problem.
Yeah.
in my opinion, because
The perceived immaturity of it.
I mean,
because
there
it is,
have
but it's
been-
there though. That's
It
the
is there.
problem. That's there.
There have been games that I've looked at and gone, yeah, I might like to play that. And then I like do a little bit more research. You just pull up just the wrong thread in
Yeah.
Reddit and you're like, oh, never mind. Like
Yeah.
it's an immediate turn off when you see a bunch of people just going ape shit over nothing.
Over nothing.
It's
Just
like, play the
game.
game.
I
Exactly.
know. Or don't play it.
Like, if you're this mad about it, don't play it.
Right, it sounds like it's
just
hurting your
come
life, man.
on.
And that's kind of like when we were talking about which console is better. And
Yes.
you know, and Mogan, you asked us about online communities and stuff like which one's better. And I had to be like, I honestly cannot really speak to this because I play online multiplayer, but more often than not, I'll mute everybody else because
Sure.
I don't want to hear them.
Sure.
I've recently started when I've been playing The Last of Us multiplayer a bit more recently, trying to get that last trophy that I need for that, and every once in a while I'll leave it unmuted, and then if it seems like the people I'm playing with are a good group of people, I'll throw on my mic, and then I'll talk and like interact and stuff like that. And I've added a couple friends, which I normally don't do. So I feel like I'm branching out in
Branch
that
out,
way.
man. You're
It's good.
growing.
There are
Growing.
keys. There
I'm
are
breaking out of my shell. But like seeing that, hearing that, and that's what you hear a lot of in the news and all that is like, oh, look at this video of this 12-year-old freaking out because his mom told him to get off his video.
Right.
There,
Well-
another one of those was just like popping up the other day. And I was just like, come on.
Yeah,
Like,
that's tough because games do cater to an audience that might be of younger age, and younger people are immature. Like that's fine. Like you're
I mean,
supposed
come
to
on,
be.
we can all
Older
admit
people can
we
be
were
immature, too.
terrible
We were all
teenagers.
immature. Yeah,
I was quite the golden child.
You probably
I
were.
was a sucky kid.
I can see it. I can see it. I was playing the other day, and there's keyholes into this community that are great. Of meeting people online, like it happens, and it almost outweighs all the bad stuff. Like this, the fact that can happen is kind of it's exciting.
Well, because for every one of them, there are the people who are as gaming becomes a bigger thing. The more of like the celebrities, as it were, of the coming out, like the people, the Rooster Teeth people and the stuff they do, obviously kind of funny and
Sure.
stuff like that. And and all those people are great. They're great guys. You listen to them, great guys and girls and stuff like that. You listen to them and all that stuff, and they help to build a nice, a safer. I don't want to use the term safe place, but like a
Let's do less hostile.
less hostile.
Yeah.
They encourage just being nice and being more like proactive and
A more
productive about
inclusive
more
environment.
inclusive.
Yes,
There,
yes.
that's
That's
the word.
a better way to say it. And just of the gaming as a whole, so that it is a fun thing that everybody, regardless of your skill level, regardless of your interest,
There's
level of
nothing
interest
wrong
to it.
with little healthy competition.
No, there's definitely
That's
not.
true.
I
But,
often
I also-
teabag my enemies on Halo.
But like, I feel like that
They
should be,
deserve it.
I feel like
But it
that
starts
kind of
something
stuff,
fun.
it
Then
does.
they'll teabag
Like
me.
it
and
all,
it's like
it's
a
all
whole
about
thing.
the spirit.
team-
The spirit
it's the
has to
spirit
be
of it.
right.
Like
Yes.
that doesn't necessarily bother me either. That happens. I'm like, oh come, you douche.
Right, let's go.
Like I'm gonna kill you now in the
Right.
next round.
Right, but it's a lot better than saying like you should go kill yourself.
Yeah.
and
And-
people say that shit.
Yeah,
But people say that on the
kinda
internet.
crap all
But that's
the
a bigger
time.
phenomenon of people fighting behind walls, which has happened in the last 10 years with the internet.
Yeah.
You
Right,
know,
right.
people
And-
are able to just fight behind cover, and it's like,
Like, come say it to my face, you
no,
douchebag.
they're just cowards.
Yeah.
Cowards.
What are we talking about?
What was the topic about?
We're still on it. We're still.
Yeah, I know. We're still
on
in it. We're still in it.
So
We're
how
bouncing
people
around.
see gamers,
Right.
inside and out.
Well, You talk about like Greg Miller and the kind of funny guys. It's hard for me to find people, and I do like him a lot. Watching his speech, especially at the Video Games Awards or whatever, was awesome.
Moving.
But there's not a lot of people. Maybe Greg Miller will be one of the first really that are these figures these personas, these people that you can put in front of the video game world as.
I mean, like a front man.
Like a front man.
Like, look, there's our guy. Look at that
like movies
perfectly
have
normal,
stars.
nice guy.
Right, exactly. Like
He is a gentleman.
Here's the people that represent the video game world. You know, it's tough to really.
Well, because that's
highlight
there.
these people.
That's there for other big things like sports. They're all the sports heroes throughout.
But yeah, there is, and there's great writers and there's great directors that people know about. But we were talking about that earlier, and what Greg Miller did, which I commend him for, was he put a spotlight on the art director for
Nicole Tan.
Yeah, for Tomb Raider.
Yeah,
and so what he's doing there is, I think, one of the best things that someone can be doing right now is turning video games, he's giving a face to these games. Putting faces on.
Because, I mean, people make them. A
lot
lot
of
of people.
A
I mean,
lot
it
of
takes
people.
so many people.
The credits
They're
for
so
a video
long.
game take way longer than the credits of a movie.
That's why, and that's what the conversation we used to have about the podcast. Like, these video games deserve to be talked about with cinema, books, music. They all deserve to be on the same level. But it's tough because, well, I don't know the exact reason why people have not been put in the spotlight, except for like Hideo Kojima. Everyone knows, for the most part, who Hideo Kojima is.
I was about to say, I don't think
You don't know?
No, I don't.
I was about to say,
Not everybody.
what?
No, I know who he is.
But who is sadly the man that Nintendo CEO passed away?
Ooh, I'm blanking on his name.
Oh,
Isn't that awful?
See, there you go. But that's because it doesn't get passed around that much. You
Right.
know, it's just something.
Oh, Iwata, right?
Iwata?
Yes.
There we go. I was thinking of Miyamoto, and I got him mixed up.
No.
No,
Iwata.
Miyamoto's
You're
still
right.
alive and kicking.
But I hope people like Greg Miller will come into the spotlight and take up a kind of a burden, really, at this point. Of I am a gamer. I represent the video game community in some
He
big
won
way.
2 Trending Gamer of the Year awards.
He's trendy. I used to have a huge crush on Jessica Chobot. Do you
Oh,
remember
yeah.
Jessica Chobot?
She still does a lot of stuff with Nerdist.
She does.
She does.
She
and, like,
does.
that was something that I remember. That was a very specific moment. I was like, and you do get the sense like, and I was young. And I was like, there's no way she plays games. There's no way. I was.
you
I know.
scum.
I was.
See,
I was
that's the
scum. But it's not
thing.
like
You're part of the problem.
It was
You're
not like
the
I was on the internet like she's a liar, a phony. I was just like, I was surprised. Because
Yeah.
she's, I was just like, oh, that's interesting. Maybe IGN hired her, but she's a huge gamer, and like that was. But that's a lesson I learned when I was very young, which is good.
And at least you learned it.
at least I learned it, and I wasn't like, man, she's
We're
still
like,
fake.
nuh-uh.
No,
Games aren't for girls.
right. But it was a great moment to have. Like, oh, it can, beautiful, empowering people can be totally into this, and it's not something reserved for quote unquote dorks.
The 29-year-olds who lives at home with
Right.
her mom who just pulled a Hot Pocket out of the fridge.
I know how ignorant. What an ignorant statement.
I know.
Let's get
Cow
Hot
face.
Pockets to sponsor us.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Ironically.
Let's just get Hot Pockets right now. Like, I kind of want a Hot
I
Pocket.
can't eat those.
I can't either. I gotta admit.
Jerry's like, what?
Fine. I got real excited for 50-cent corn dog day yesterday at Sonic. I will eat a goddamn Hot Pocket right
Oh,
now.
I can't do
Nothing
it.
lower than that.
It's a
but
different
if more
conversation.
people, like, if these people came to the front, and Kiefer Sutherland's speech was great, and he was like, I get more applause for playing Snake than I do for Jack Bauer. And boys, you guys are crazy.
I mean, it's becoming a bigger deal. Bigger stars are starting to lend their voices. I mean, it kind of goes back to our Hollywood and games
There
one.
is.
It's
But there's a
becoming,
merger coming. It's all coming together.
it is all coming together. It's
Assassin's Creed movie.
Yeah.
Michael Foster.
Which looks good.
They would not make a movie with one of the biggest stars if people didn't, if they didn't know
That's
people would
true.
come
if
see
they
it.
weren't going to see it.
And
But
there's
yeah.
gamers out there.
But no, it'll be interesting to see how it turns out because the wheels are turning in the way of it becoming more of a much more accepted thing. It's accepted now, but just like becoming a much more thing where one day we will no longer have to cower in fear of, should I bring up that I like them? But no.
In this
It would
job
become-
interview, is that what I should tell them?
There's a common question is, what kind of movies do you like? I mean, that's if you're getting to know somebody, like, oh, what kind of movies do you like?
Yeah, do you game?
What
No,
kind
I'm
of
not really
It
into
shouldn't even be what.
It
do
would
you
be
game?
what kind of games?
do
Because
you
that's
play?
a much better
That's
question.
that's what we'll do this week as a social experiment. We'll ask people, what kind of games do you play? And they'll be like,
like not
How
even
did you know?
preface it. Not even
Like just
preface
people
it.
we
Just be
meet.
like, oh
yeah.
Interesting.
yeah, I
Cool.
like it.
Interesting.
What kind of
I
games
like
do you play?
that.
They're like, oh.
Oh, this person.
Yeah,
You're one of
maybe
them.
they'll go on a tangent, or they'll be like, "Get away from me!" Hopefully not.
Stranger danger.
Hopefully- Stranger danger.
but I mean, but again, it gets back to part of what we wanted to do with this podcast too, is to help bring more of awareness to the art form of games and what it is. Because I think that's how we look at it. We look at it more as like we like these just as much as we like a movie.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're cool.
We are.
We're cool
I'm pretty
people.
great.
We're pretty amazing.
I'm a fun guy to chill with.
Yeah, we're not hunkered down in our parents' basement. We all have crazy jobs.
Yeah.
We all are.
None of us live at home anymore.
No.
Jerrett has a pet.
Yeah.
2 pets
2 pets.
and a wife.
In a way.
Yeah, man,
Married.
wife. Yeah. That's real adulthood.
It's real
And
adulthood.
he's younger than us.
Not me. We're the same age.
Oh, are you? Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. I should.
Don't age yourself, Mogan. Most people don't know how old we are on the podcast.
I know. My birthday's coming soon. I'll just say that.
I'll have to get you something.
I'll be 40.
I'll get you a Nintendo 3DS. Then you can finally join me.
Oh, I want one
Damn.
of those.
Let's get it
I'm
on.
getting one for Moon and
You
Fish.
had your chance.
Moon and Sundial.
But you're not on the
Flower.
podcast anymore. You're fired.
So, I feel like we've kind of wrapped that up a little bit. But so, Mogan, let's now turn to
Oh,
your
shit.
moment with Mogan.
I thought I didn't have much, but the whole page is full. Never mind.
A fun day.
All right,
I'm gonna go
so
smoke a cigarette.
this isn't this isn't so much news. It's just I finally watched like a developer's video from the upcoming Final Fantasy 15 game, and holy bejesus, I knew it was going to be amazing. It looks freaking killer. Like, it sounds really lame, but of the Final Fantasy games I've played recently, the most recent was really 10 and 10-2, and those were graphically very stunning. But this is next level stuff right here. It looks as good as the more recent Assassin's Creed games.
Really?
And then some.
I've
It's
seen
just
some
like,
gameplay footage of it.
Are they
looks
comparable as games at all?
Not in play style. It's
No,
still going to
like,
be.
Just how they look.
Yeah, no, it's still, but just
Do you
visually,
think Assassin's
it is
Creed is a really good looking game?
some of it.
Okay.
I do think it's pretty awesome. What's another? It actually looks a lot like Uncharted 4 now that I'm thinking about it. Like in the movement. And the angling of the cameras.
Okay.
Because
I
back
see.
in my day
I
of
was like, are these-
RPGs, it was top down. You had
you
a
mean like
fixed-
third-person style?
Yeah, like third person style.
Okay,
so
I got what you
very
mean.
it's very just different from what I was
Okay,
expecting.
okay.
And it's just the OST, the soundtrack they were playing during the video. I was like, shut these developers up. I'm trying to listen to the soundtrack. They are ruining what I believe is going to be a killer soundtrack. So that's pretty much all I had to say about that. I'm really interested in it now just for the soundtrack. So there's also been some suspicious news about new Xbox Ones. Actual consoles coming out both this year and next year. They're talking about there's going to be, so I kind of prefaced this once last time, where they're talking about releasing a smaller, so like a slim version of the current Xbox One. And I think they're actually going to give it more memory. I think they said like 2 terabytes, which who even needs that much space? But it's going to have more space, supposedly be a slightly stronger system, but in a smaller package. And then in 2017, and I think this might be a little bit more of a rumorish type update, they're talking about what will essentially be the Xbox equivalent. I called it, people, the Xbox equivalent of the PS4 Neo. So it sounds like they're going to be doing this mid-console update of like a more powerful, upgraded version of the current Xbox One. The code name for this one is Scorpio.
What?
Yeah.
Xbox Scorpio.
Come on.
Xbox Scorpio.
Did someone's son come up with that? That
He's
works
like
at
the-
Microsoft?
Need like the Halo announcer guy to
Yeah,
say
yeah.
it. Scorpio.
Yeah.
Scorpio.
Slayer.
Scorpio.
I wrote on my list probs on heels of PS4 Neo. So it just sounds like, and they said they weren't gonna.
Yeah, that's interesting because they did say they weren't going to do
The
it.
director of Xbox development or whatever was like, "Yeah, I think that's dumb." So clearly, someone who's in charge of
take their
the
word.
board of directors was like, "Oh, you don't understand. You're not the one making the decisions here, buddy.
That'll be
You
kind of
think you're in control?
You think you're in control, but you're not."
that'll be weird if consoles move into more instead of like having a new number release. It's like they
Dude,
just
I
move
could
into
totally
like
see
iterations.
that. I could totally
I
see
bet
just
it- I bet that's
iterations.
what
It's
happens.
like, you know,
I mean,
the
at
robots.
the pace that technology is evolving, it kind of makes sense.
It makes
It
perfect
does.
sense.
Yeah.
We'll just
but I mean,
plug this
it just
in.
kind of sucks because it's like, but
Because I used to get really excited for a new console.
like the
you
hype
know?
around
Yeah.
the Xbox One and the PS4 when they were coming out.
Because they were 8 to 10 years apart.
I
You
know.
had a lot of
I
waiting
know.
time to
You had
do.
a lot
So
of
it was a
waiting
big
time.
deal.
It was.
But so that's that. Those are, so I think it's going to happen, but they're kind of rumorish right now. So that's projected for 2017. We've also got for E3.
E3.
Yeah. So this is just Nintendo. Nintendo non-news. It's the new segment in today's Nintendo non-news. So Nintendo's got nothing for E3, man, and I don't know.
Maybe they're waiting.
Are they showing Zelda?
So they're showing
Zelda,
They're
right?
going to do a.
Hey, remember we still have Zelda.
They're going to do a day-long demo for the upcoming LOZ title. The upcoming Legend of Zelda, they're going to do a day.
That's pretty. That's exciting.
See, I am of the opposite camp.
You don't think that's cool?
My opinion is no. I don't even want to see that much.
You should go to E3
because I'm one of the people who does like a
wanna go to
blackout.
E3.
I want
we need to
just
get
a little
invited.
bit. I want just a little bit to just keep me interested. So a day-long demo, I'm like, how much are they going to be revealing? Don't make it too much. It's got to be just
and that's
enough.
the game from beginning to end. What'd you think?
So whatever the demo is going to be for, it is going to be only the Wii U version. So they're not going to touch on NX at all. That has not changed.
Okay.
Oh, and then I had more stuff. This is a long list. Okay, so
Just giving us all the information.
so that was just news and other stuff. The upcoming titles, I've already covered most of what's coming up in early to mid-June, so we're not going to harp on that. But Mirror's Edge Catalyst is coming up on June 9th. So excited for it. I cannot wait. For your RPG players out there, Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness. I know that neither of you just blank stares.
I've seen like the box art
Blank
for it, but
eyes,
that's
yes.
it.
So Star Ocean, very popular, like turn-based. Well, maybe not turn-based these days. I don't know where they've gone with the series, but popular RPG series.
Okay.
And then Rocket League Collector's Edition coming out June 4th. Jared, I know you like Rocket League.
I do like Rocket League.
And I think it looks killer fun. So
It's
I think
supposed to-
I'll
You should
probably.
get it.
I should.
It's
I
fun.
think it looks awesome.
Wonder what you get with the collector's edition.
Probably like all the DLC they've released.
I wrote it. I
probably
thought about
exactly
writing
right.
it down, but I was running late, so I had to run.
Dude, you know what? That's a great moment with Mogan.
Yeah, and that's it. Bam, done.
I was thinking about.
Yeah, you have
I was
to apply.
thinking about game backward. I was thinking about replaying Oblivion this summer.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I was, and I found out it's not backwards compatible. For the
It's not
Xbox
yet?
One. That's what someone told me.
Look online. I'm pretty sure it's.
That's what a stranger on the bus said.
They're working on it. Though.
I'm pretty sure Oblivion is.
First of all, I couldn't get it on the store, so I know it's not in the store. So maybe I could go out and buy it, but
Yeah, it's like $14.
if that, but I'm not going to buy it if it's not backwards compatible.
It will be eventually.
It will be. Buy it. Who you work for them?
I mean, Elder Scrolls is a big title.
Phil Spencer
They-
just tweets at me. He tells me these things. It's no big deal.
I'm dying to. I really want to replay Oblivion this summer. That's one of the things I.
It's a
really
good goal.
Well, I got a 360. You
Go
can,
for it, Zach.
you can pop over. You can pop over, put it in my 360,
okay.
and I'll watch you
watch
play it, and we'll just
Oh,
comment.
we'll sit on the floor like when we were kids.
Yes,
Oh.
I could create my character for hours.
Actually,
you
I
wanna-
do that.
You're
kind
one
of-
think about
you're
the
one of
nose.
those
I
people.
do that kind of crap
course
with my
I am
bro all
one of
the time.
those
I'm like,
people.
bro, what am I going to do with my
Best
hair?
part.
What am I going to do? Do I want to be bulky or small?
First of all, do you want to be a Khajiit?
Exactly.
Or an high elf?
Now, do you try
That's
to make
the
your
thing,
do you try to
man.
make your character look like you?
Okay, who does
Well,
that?
I'm a wood elf, and
I mean, I kind of do.
Jared.
My division character looks like me. Just
I
like
make
an
myself
older,
as
older-
unlike
like an
me as
older
I can.
gruff version of me.
yes, the image of me in my head.
I made my Dark Souls character in, I think, the first game look like an elderly African-American woman. And I was like, yes,
This feels right.
this feels right. She
Nailed
looks
it.
like she can get stuff done.
My character in Dragon Age Inquisition is one sexy son of a bitch.
In Skyrim, I was a cat.
You would be.
I was a Khajiit. Khajiit has wares if you have coin.
To be fair, I would be too.
Dude, oh, come on. They're the sneakiest of all races.
You would. Come on. You just once be like a barbarian or something.
No.
You gotta branch out, man.
Sneak everywhere.
I'm always warriors in RPGs.
I know
so,
you are.
They're cool.
Barging around loud. I like combine people.
Just like I
slitting their throats.
just run through, hack and
What was
slash.
that?
Kitty has claws.
God, let's hope
Cheat,
not.
baby.
You are not helping the social perception of gamers, Zach. You're
just
really
like to
bringing
be
this
on
down.
that.
I just like to be.
What is that? Is that guy want to be a cat? What? What a bizarre man.
But, ladies and gentlemen, this has been
Yeah, I
another
think we've talked
episode.
ourselves out. There we go. That's it.
If you have any questions or comments, would like to share with us any of your thoughts on how you feel gamers are perceived in this world, please send us an email at teamchatpodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter at teamchatpodcast, like our Facebook page, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for lots of fun goodies there. Until next time, I'm one of your hosts, Jerrett Wilson, joined to my right by Rachel Mogan
Adeus.
and Adeus.
That was actually Portuguese. But
All
nobody
right.
uses it unless they're expecting to never see you again.
Oh,
like
wow.
literally never.
So she
Yeah,
never wants to
was
see us again.
Yeah, that's,
So I
that's
am
weird
peacing
thing
out.
to
She's
say.
out. Okay.
I want to say before I say goodbye if
Oh.
we should tease the next episode at all.
I think we should.
How do we
Because
go about
we have
doing that?
talked about this one. We've mentioned it in
I mean,
passing.
we harp on it all the time.
We
do.
bring up the topic of it quite a lot.
So much.
Because it's probably our actual next to actually playing the games for all three of us. It's probably our next favorite part of games, and that is the soundtrack.
Yes.
We are finally going to do our music episode.
Music.
We
Music
are-
sode.
Music sode.
We are very,
Soundtrack episode.
very excited about it.
Original soundtrack episode.
It's gonna be a good one.
That's gonna be our number 25. It's gonna be a big one.
Oh my
It's
god.
gonna be a big one. 25 episodes, everyone. This is episode 24, which is crazy.
Great.
But it's just gonna be off the chain.
It
Off
is.
the
We're gonna have
charts.
music.
We're gonna have music in there. We're gonna play.
We'll get the
stuff.
orchestra. We'll fit them in here.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
get them in studio, live
Yes.
studio orchestra
Nice
to
little
play the
quartet.
stuff.
Do
Yeah.
Delta Halo. They're gonna be like, what?
Now,
No,
do you know
do it. Do it.
fit the fourth movement of Odyssey?
I want Dragon Roost Island.
Come on. Okay,
No,
good.
it's gonna be good.
We teased it.
Look forward. Hopefully, it now lives up to the bar that
train
we've set
wreck.
it. People listen to this like this music
Back into the
shit.
vault.
And was
Back
like,
into the
well,
vault it
never
goes.
mind, ladies and gentlemen. We just immediately go to episode 26,
Yes.
and we're back.
This episode
26.
had one door in the vault while we were
no.
doing it.
But yeah.
I'm just joking.
But anyway,
Okay. Peace
but
out.
then on my left, Zachary
Peace,
Parks. We will see you all next time. Thanks for listening.